Yeah, it's wintertime here in South Florida. Good morning, everybody. Great to be with you. Jeff DeForest. We got Mike Lubie Lubitz. Beautiful day shaping up here as we head into Christmas week. I kind of like when these holidays are somewhere besides Monday or Friday because it gives you extra time to squirm out of work, which is what we're going to do
Exactly.
this week. We used to be pretty diligent about this stuff, Louis. Didn't we work like Christmas Day and stuff like that? I mean, we never took off because my theory was the minute you take off, they realize they don't need you anymore, and or at least they think that's the case. I don't know how the station is doing 4 years into the Brady Quinn experiment,
Yeah, exactly.
but you just don't hear a lot of that so-called water fountain talk.
Oh,
Did anybody ever really talk around a water fountain? No, nobody even said hello to each other. Did we even have a water fountain in the office there at
it
iHeartMedia?
was the coffee
Oh, they had
places
that
where
coffee.
it used to be the water cooler, but now it's like wherever people get coffee or wherever there's free food. And
You could
in the
feel
radio world, there's always free food.
You can feel the warmth of the money flowing in from the FM stations and the Hispanic stations that were in the Waco complex. And you could feel it just flowing right out the door on the AM side that we were on. Wasn't it a little colder over there too, Louis? I don't know if it was the AC had some kind of flaw in the system, but wow, I mean, it was a cold treatment, that's for sure. But we used to come in there and work diligently. We're going to be with you diligently. We're going to be with you today and tomorrow. Today's a great day to be talking about sports. Although I did want to start out. I know you would have to dig this up, and it's not possible to do this while doing the show and
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
all of the other things that you're trying to navigate your way through right now, Mike
Like,
Louie Lubitz.
yeah.
But I mean, Gil Scott Heron, first thing comes to mind. I'm seeing all these posts. Is that true that CBS pulled a piece about the illegal deportation down to that heinous and just absolutely draconian prison in El Salvador, where they were shipping people illegally against judges' orders and everything? And they pulled that piece and ended up airing a two-part thing about one of their reporters with what is it called? A shaman? These guys that climb to the top of Mount Everest?
Oh, Jesus.
Sherpas, shaman.
Sherpa,
Shaman
yeah.
is a bunch of Jews going to a bar mitzvah. What are you talking about? Uh, oh, Sherpas, right? Isn't that it? Is that right?
Yeah, Sherpa will help you get to
Sherpa.
peak
There
of
we
a
go.
mountain. Yes, the summit. Yes.
Who the hell would do this, by the way? I
I
mean,
don't
who in their right mind?
know. And my wife.
I understand maybe symbolically, somehow metaphorically, somehow subliminally, you are conquering things that seem to be impossible. Okay. It's kind of like
Yes.
me with my credo every Monday where I say, okay, I'm going to eat breakfast and then nothing until tomorrow's breakfast. So far, I've been able to do that. The furthest I got was 2 days into it.
Oh, I mean, that's impressive. It's more than I'd want to do.
And then my buddy Jimmy, Boston Jimmy, who's euphoric, by the way, off that New England victory. You know what? All of those Drake May doubters, I agree with the professor in the sense that it's too soon to put this guy in the Hall of Fame. But man, I mean, you talk about delivering in the clutch here, which is what he did last night. That was absolutely fantastic. Great win by the New England Patriots over the Ravens. And did they essentially knock the Ravens out of the playoffs there? I mean, you're going to have no Chiefs, no Ravens. The two biggest favorites in the AFC were, well, three. They were right there with Buffalo.
Bills, yeah.
Bills, man, I'm getting 10 and a hook with the Cleveland Browns yesterday. How comfortable would you feel going in to that ball game?
Not
Now, this was not by choice. I didn't do any deep rooted research, Luby. You didn't tell me, Shador Sanders is going to have a good ball game today, which I don't know that he did or he didn't. It seemed like every time I was looking up at that particular screen, which I was schwitzing it out. It's amazing how many mathematical calculations and permutations you go through in trying to figure out what needs to happen way in advance for you to cover the point spread. You don't find yourself engaging in this, do you, Luby? I mean, if you made a pick, you
not
don't care
anymore.
about your reputation in that regard, or you're not betting money on these games. So it's a little bit different. I'm glad you at least have some kind of a sense of what it's all about. But
Yeah, yeah.
you're in the second quarter of the game, and you're going, okay, well, if they get the field goal here, then that puts them up 8, and that gives me 11 with the 3 points I'm getting. And so these guys would have to do this and that, and boom, boom, boom. It really is like the old days of trying to sweat out a series of miracles at a highlight front time. Because I'm watching a game, and now it gets complex because you have people at your same table. Like I'm at Brew's Room yesterday, and people at your same table need different results, but it's possible for both of you to win. So you're rooting. I'm rooting for Cleveland to get any kind of a score, and the guy I'm sitting with, he's screaming, "No, no!" But I told him, I said, "Listen, calm the f down. I can cover this 10.5 point spread with the Browns, which is a miracle. I think of all the games yesterday, what was that one of the ones that looked like it was just going to be an absolute blowout? The Buffalo
Yes.
Bills, with all the incentive in the world, they don't know. They're thinking maybe the Ravens help them out. Imagine that, the Ravens helping out the Buffalo Bills, and that they beat the Patriots at home. Baltimore talking about. And meanwhile, Buffalo breezes like 41-7 over the Cleveland Browns. But no, Lubie. And yet the conflict was on there at the table because my buddy Doug, who he bets these 3-team money line and 4-team money line parlays. And you would think it would be fairly obvious, would you not? To just pick. Remember, I mean, that's the whole concept of survivor pools. Can you pick one winner,
Yeah.
one stinking winner against the
Yeah.
spread without no point spread? One
Zero
winner from
spread.
the card. And half the people are eliminated by week number 2. Eddie Kaplan, he was big with that. He started pointing that out long before it was in vogue. What a degenerate superstar on the radio. All right, we haven't. I mean, this was just all part of what was going on yesterday in the NFL. There were tank jobs galore. Are these New York teams tanking?
Oh,
How
maybe.
obvious was it that the instructions to this Kafka guy? I mean, does he have any chance? Any chance of retaining that job? 0.0. So, would you go in there and with no dignity whatsoever, just be obedient to the whole idea that the only way we salvage anything out of the season? Doesn't the NFL need to go to some form of lottery of the top
Yes.
10
Yes.
picks?
The sucking for this and that is definitely apparent for a few teams.
Wow. Jackson Dart in this game, I mean, they're touting this guy as the future. It's the only salvation they have. He throws for 33 yards in the ballgame. They run the ball excessively and make no attempt to put any points on the board and end up losing to Minnesota 16-13. Their only touchdown came from a defensive score. Guy picked up a fumble and ran it in. Tank City, Lubie. And the Jets, the same thing. I mean, are the Jets just really bad? That could
The
be.
Jets are legitimately bad. And I think the Giants are bad too, but yes, the Giants have just said screw it. And the Jets, it wouldn't even matter. Like they were trying to win and they still
Where's
were.
Goodell on this? Where's the Goodell on the integrity of the game?
I don't
The
know.
value of the personal seat license in New York City. My God. Talk about dreadful, man. And then, of course, while this was all going on, while these football teams were just laying an egg, the Knicks are getting people excited because they beat your Miami Heat
Yeah.
in New York last night. And Brunson went with like 47 points. Would be a guy that you thought wasn't very good.
I think he's good. I think he's proven me right. I think he's a really good
Miraculous shot maker.
number 2 and an average number 1.
He hits a sweet Sam Jones fall away bank shot jumper from about 17 feet out on a wing. This was old school. Never mind Segredo, who'll be with us tomorrow. This was real old school stuff. And then he was just having one of those nights where everything he threw up there went in, including they save a ball. Mitchell Robinson. This guy hustles, man. Is he the poor man's Dennis Rodman?
I don't
Mitchell
know. He's
Robinson?
always hurt. The problem with him is he's always hurt. So I don't know how to get a read on him.
And Rodman was never hurt, but he missed a lot of time for a variety of reasons. Do you find those when you're checking off? Okay, so what's the problem with this guy? Why is he questionable? Why is he questionable? He's in Las Vegas gambling his brains out and banging Carmen Electra. That's why he's questionable. Phil Jackson just put up with this stuff and shrugged it off. It was great. All right, so we haven't gotten to the good, the bad. I guess there was some ugly, and ugly would be the only way to describe while we're on the NFL what happened with the Miami Dolphins yesterday. My God, Lubie, what a disgrace. Stephen Ross, it's funny. There was a picture posted on social media of Stephen Ross kind of laughing in his box there while surrounded by Art Garfunkel. And I'm assuming, is that his wife? I don't know who it was. Is he married, Stephen Ross? He must be.
You would
Seems
think.
like a
I don't
family
know.
type of guy. Wife still alive? Is she still with us?
You would think.
We don't know anything about this guy. Everybody's like doing all this in-depth analysis about where Stephen Ross's head is at. We don't know a effing thing about him, do we?
I think we really don't.
What the hell is? I mean, I know what. Then he go to Miami Beach High.
I guess he's from here, then went to, I guess, Michigan for grad school or something.
He's a big Michigan guy. We know that because
Michigan
he
guy because of
gave him
that.
like what $400 million while he was saying, "Hey, you know what? I really need some more money to develop this parking lot." Thanks, City of Miramar. Broke ass city is supposed to give this guy money. That's sports for you. But he just he's got this $10 billion. I guess it's an investment going into some real estate development project in West Palm Beach, where he's going to transform West Palm Beach into something much more like a
Yes.
glistening, gleaming, rising, important city. Which I don't know. Do you see that happening, Louie? Is
West
this
Palm. I mean, I don't know. Look, people seem to be moving more and more north, so I guess they could turn it into something. I don't know. I have no idea. South Florida as a whole is all
it's
over.
one street, Palm Beach. That's all they got.
How climatic.
What is it? Worth Avenue? Is that it? Like where
Worth, yeah.
nothing is worth what it's sold for on Worth Avenue. That's it, right? The rest of it's like hillbilly stuff. Sort of. I mean, you don't see all of this glitz, do you, when you're traveling? Well, I guess when your destination is the dog track, Louie, you're probably not going to driving by those waterfront mansions at Mar-a-Lago. A disgrace yesterday. So there's a picture of Stephen Ross, and he's sort of laughing, and it was great because at the time the score was Cincinnati 45, Miami Dolphins 14. And it ended up being 45-21, a token touchdown at the end to get them within what? Hey, they're right there. That's a 3-score game right now, Joe. What do you think about that? Well, you know what? If they can get a touchdown now in this very first play, an 80-yard score, get an onside kick, get another 80-yard score after the 2-point conversion, another 2-point conversion, onside kick, get the ball back. They have a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, how disgraceful was that, Luby? And Ross is like seen laughing as the score is sort of superimposed there above his picture or below his picture. And I'm watching Mike McDaniel though. It's late in this game, and he's glued. I mean, his nose is in this play chart. It's 45-14. Your experiment at quarterback has failed miserably. Although, I mean, look, Quinn Ewers, you can't really put too much on this. His 7th-round pick, and he's thrown in there because the rest of your organization is in complete and total turmoil, and you have no answers, zero, except that supposedly McDaniel's coming back, which
Has that been because there's nothing that should dictate that to be a decision.
that game should have been an
He
immediate.
should have been fired last year. We all say he should have been fired last year. It made sense he should have been fired last year. You then fire the GM halfway through this year. They won the 4 in a row versus really bad teams. They've now lost 2 in a row versus and teams. They're going to probably lose the next 2 games. They're going to finish 6-11. What in year 4? Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't understand. Like, what would be the purpose of bringing him back? On what world? And like, he doesn't. It's not like he has a college football buyout. He doesn't have any of that. I just don't get it. I don't get.
Well, I mean, the C word was used, Louis. The C word, continuity. Stephen Ross wants to continue this, which is what he basically subscribed to last year when he said, "Look at that, 8-9. Let's run it back." Yeah, I saw so much sign of promise last year. Although last year wasn't it just last year that Tua led the league in passing yards? Was it last year he did?
Probably. I mean, every year he's top 3 in passing yards. He's top 5.
That's the problem. There's just enough good there statistically to make you forget about what's missing. Which right? It's not what you don't have; it's what you got. What do you have there? You don't have a guy that can come through like we saw with Drake May in the late moments of a ball game on a somewhat consistent basis by making really good plays. I mean, look, Drake May, he runs a little bit. He kind of has a little bit of Josh Allen in him, doesn't he, Drake May? I mean,
that's the guy they were trying to compare him to. He's a bigger, stronger dude who likes to take chances. His accuracy was sort of a question, and that's the thing he's working through.
Yeah. Threw some passes that were suspect, especially on short routes, like 10, 15-yard routes. Would you consider that a short pass pattern? No, what? Between 5 and 10 is a short pass? Anyway, out patterns, stuff like that. I don't know why I always hear the guy that used to do the impression of Hank Goldberg saying, that's an O cut, Rick. Anyway, he threw the ball behind a couple of guys. Did get one picked off under those circumstances. Had a couple of throws that could have easily been completions, but missed them. But the long ball, he's not afraid to launch one. In stark contrast to your man Tua, he does it while stepping up in the pocket on balance and firing the ball like he is about to knock out Jake Paul, which is a whole nother thing that we can get into, Lubie, a bit later on in the program. But were you inclined to turn that on? It was a good football game on, and I ended up watching this entire fight card like a fool on Friday night. Oh, and that was Oklahoma and Alabama, and that turned out Alabama's trailing 17-0. You think they're toast. The professor had been touting how he thought Oklahoma was overrated the whole season. And they're at home, up 17-0, and then get trounced from there. So Alabama, did they loom as some kind of a threat, Lubie? Alabama, in your opinion?
I think they'll beat Indiana. I mean, I think Indiana is an interesting story, but I don't think they stand up with most of these teams in the playoffs.
Yeah. They look pretty good in their thrashing there of Oklahoma. Coming back early in the ball game, they looked stunned and looked like they weren't ready for any kind of action, like they were going to get mowed over by the Oklahoma Sooners. Oh, Oklahoma. And we'll get to the Canes also, but just wanted to finish up this thing on the Dolphins and some of the other games around the NFL. And wow, I mean, you literally have an organization that has no answers, and they don't even have a spokesman at this point, do they? Who's speaking for the Miami Dolphins? Chris Greer was sort of in the background. I think you see more interviews of Leon Rose, who doesn't do interviews, of the New York Knicks than you do or did of Chris Greer. We would occasionally see Chris Greer kind of sheepishly explaining that, well, you know what, there's a plan there, and it's a little bit long term. I said, okay, Chris, what are you talking about? Guy's got butterflies coming out of his mouth as he's speaking. And then Mike McDaniel, I mean, Mike McDaniel yesterday, did you catch? I caught the slightest glimpse of his post-game press conference, which normally I'm fascinated by Mike McDaniel press conferences. Because other than what we saw in that presidential address, I don't know that anybody says less while saying a lot, while speaking. And now, McDaniel's approach is not nearly as bombastic, and rightfully so, because he's losing 2 weeks in a row after giving rise to hope that maybe he hadn't, should I say this, Lubie? He hadn't lost the team.
Oh, good. Well, when does he lose a team? If I'm the team, why am I still following him? Yeah, why are they still following him?
Like it was a dog on Federal Highway or something, the team. Unbelievable. Hey, look at that. Is that a lab? He's got a collar. Well, you couldn't say anything but that the team was completely lost yesterday. I don't know, either that or they were under some kind of a voodoo spell that was cast upon them when they played the New Orleans Saints. What the hell happened out there? That was Lombardi plus. What the hell is going on out there? You're getting smoked. Now, Jamar Chase is a hell of a talent. Credit Joe Burrow for looking like, I mean, did he not look like he was totally into it, Lubie?
No, yeah, they definitely were. They were 100% into that game, and
This was a 4-10 team at the time.
Yes.
Right? Nothing to play for. Season shot.
Yeah, they came to playing the Dolphins in the second half. Didn't. That was an abomination. I don't know what the hell that was. It was a tight game, and I went away for a few minutes. I came back, and it was a 30-point game, and I was like, what the hell did I miss?
Unbelievable. Yeah, so that was a disgrace. And then after the game, you lose 45-21, a late touchdown, even making it a 24-point ball game. Just an abysmal effort. McDaniel, in the late minutes, seriously, he's like this, Lubie. He's got the play chart there, and he's mumbling into the microphone, and I'm thinking, just take the headset off and start yelling and screaming at the top of your lungs. This is an embarrassment. Unbelievable. Not many people in the stands, even early in a ball game, Lubie. That's not a good sign. Natives are getting restless, man. It's the MAGA movement going, sayonara, man. That was embarrassing. That was all the years I've been associated with the Miami Dolphins organization, which, look, I'm not close to them at this point, except for guys that we knew from the past when it was a kinder, gentler Dolphins organization, where paranoia wasn't the wall that they put up around the organization because everybody wants to know what the hell are you looking at, Stephen Ross, that makes you think this is good to continue. Continuity. He brought out the C word, big capital C.
Continuity after going backwards 2 years in a row. Like I don't even know what that means. Like, what is going on? I'm just so my mind is like you're watching that team and you're like, two is an issue. Fine, you need another quarterback, but okay, you were played well in the first half and they couldn't do anything, and like it was just annoying. Like, and they actually got up 14-10. You're like, okay, look at this. And then they struggled to get out of the half. They allowed them to score. They moved the ball, and then they can't tack on the extra points. It goes 17-14 half, and then they come on the second half and just get the doors blown off. And it's just
and with clown plays too. I mean, they were making clown plays.
the play calling. The play calling is horrible. He's really bad at calling plays inside the red zone. Like you had like a 3rd and 1, and you did a pitch from the shotgun.
There you go.
So you're already 5 yards back. You pitch it 2 yards back further. So they end up losing 4 yards, and it go from being in field goal range with maybe trying to get a touchdown to now you have to punt. And they're at like the 40. It's like, oh my God! Like
that's the play of the crazy kid in the schoolyard calls. And everybody looks at him and goes, "Hey, listen, Jack, you got to be kidding me, man!"
It just boggles my mind.
Pitch out, double reverse, Statue of Liberty, and then the guy's running a fly pattern, and you're going to launch a bomb. Get out of here! It's 4th and 1. Crazy stuff. So that was very disappointing. The reaction to it, what was as flat as the proverbial Parisian runway model. I hate to use that one again because it's insulting to women in some cases, but not meant to be. Just straight up analysis. Flat. You can't be any worse. And that's a characteristic of a team that I'm telling you, the most difficult job in sports is going to be people calling from that boiler room in the Philippines, going, "Your Miami Dolphins are talking Super Bowl."
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, lady, you want 2 tickets?
Yeah, good
Yeah, we're playing the Raiders on the 17th. Everybody loves the Raiders. Get out of here. Unbelievable. All right, so, wild day, other places around the NFL where games were actually interesting. This was interesting to me from the standpoint of you have 2 teams that are both busted out. Cincinnati, I mean, so many disappointing years, year after year after year. This is a team that you're asking yourself, just like you're always questioning, how come the Dolphins can't put together an offensive line? Why can't Cincinnati get like some kind of a defense?
Yep.
We're wasting the Marino years. They must be saying that. We're wasting the Burrow years here in Cincinnati.
Yep.
But they come in with an approach like, hey, this is opening day. Let's go out there and play football. And Burrow really epitomized that. You had to think that there was at least some level of enthusiasm on the part of Quinn Ewers, a 7th-round draft pick, who people thought was going to be like a top 10 pick, didn't they? Just a year before. What the hell did that guy do? I mean, he got hurt, right? His senior year.
He got hurt,
and he came back. How did he fall back?
Well, he had a lot of flaws in his game. The injury-prone thing. He wasn't as big as people had thought. So he's sort of like he's like 6'6" He's not 6'3", 6'4". And the health thing's a big deal with him. Like he gets hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So he's fragile, and teams don't want to mess with that, especially in the first few rounds. So
no answers. No answers, Louie. When you take the phone calls there, imagine being in a Miami Dolphin switchboard right now. Yes, hello, Miami Dolphins. Yeah, this is Mo from Miramar. I tell you what, I'm not going to watch this crap anymore, and I'm not going to stand for it. What are you going to do about that? What's the lady going to say? We don't have any answers right now.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? If you
man in the Dolphins switchboard today, maybe nobody calls because that's what it looks like. And the last thing, it dooms every relationship.
Yep.
Indifference, my friend. Indifference.
Yeah, first. Yep.
All right, Chargers looking pretty good. They destroyed Dallas. That was always nice to see. Dallas's playoff hopes, I think, were dashed last week, weren't they? And so while Dallas was hanging in there for a little while, they ended up getting blown out in the end. Chargers looking impressive right now. Carolina, that was kind of a crazy game against Tampa Bay. And what a weak division that is, huh? Where those 2 teams are battling for supremacy in the division. That's where you would like to be if you were the Miami Dolphins. Maybe they need to just petition the NFL to change divisions. No, they got the Jets in their division. What are you talking about? My God. I mean, 2 freebie games every year. and you're still, yeah, can't win, Rock. Carolina, I don't know. I mean, did you take them seriously? I don't.
I don't know what to do with anything in the league. I mean, the Patriots, the teams that were supposed to get the Patriots trouble, the Patriots, they do lose to the Bills, but in a very tight game. And then the Ravens, they find a way to come back and win. Like, so I guess they're good. The Texans have a legit defense. They had their struggles.
Really staggered against the Raiders yesterday.
And
As I anointed them part of my
the
3
Raiders,
prop parlay for 15, 1.5 million for 100.
yep.
I have to get that bet down though before the week goes by. Are you still getting the same price on Georgia to win it all? I would imagine it's like 5-1. No,
Yeah, that
Minnesota
was,
Wild to win the Stanley Cup. Well, obviously the odds are almost in parallel to what you get when you're playing the Powerball tonight for 1.6 billion. Which I don't know, Libby. I mean, are you involved in any of this? I've been throwing.
no, it's one I could see being involved in for just throwing money down that you don't care about to win a huge score. It's worth it. I mean, you have to wait it out a long time, but it's so little amount of money, it's not going to affect you. So I think that bet's definitely interesting.
It's a why not me type of bet.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth a shot. That's not a horrible.
Some hillbilly that I can't count to 69 is some. Do they go into the 70s now? I mean, they've exacerbated and made it almost impossible. Look, nobody hits this thing ever. The other one is like $5 a pop. I bought I asked for 5 tickets, thinking I was going to spend $10 on that Mega Millions when the jackpot was like $1 zillion a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the lady goes $25. I'm going. I mean, I'll throw $25 gladly at an exacta, but I'm not. That's 2 horses out of 9. This is like 8 zillion combinations. You got to have only 5 shots at hitting it when it's a mathematical permutation. Even Rene Descartes couldn't have figured out. Unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, a lot of money at stake there. I'll throw it at that. I don't know if you would throw $10. This one, I have to have a 10 spot on it, so I'll have to get it down before. Well, we got about a week and a half, right? These games, those games are New Year's Day coming up.
Oh, really? They really
Well,
take.
there's one. The Canes play on New Year's Eve, I think, December 31st. Is that good? You're playing December 31st when
Oh my
nobody's.
God! So they skipped this weekend? Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, this weekend they go.
They
Well, they
skipped the
go. They
weekend and
capitulate
then
to the bowl games, the big bowl games.
Yeah, they let bowl games play, and they have New Year's. That's what I forgot. There's playoffs on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we'll get into this whole Canes thing. I didn't see all of the game, Louis. I mean, I was watching it in bits and pieces while I was betting my brains out at the Pompano track, Pompano Isle Casino. Oh, it's not the Isle Casino anymore. It's just it was Harrah's. Now it's the Pomp. Is that a name that is relatable to you? Hey, where are you going tonight? Yeah, we're going to the Pomp.
I mean, I
Pomp,
guess.
Pomp what?
I guess.
What marketing wizardry was that? I mean, I'd love to represent these guys. Don't get me wrong, Louie. If they want me to call it the Pomp and they're paying for it, I'm all in. It's actually a good place to catch the races, and there was much interest with the game against Texas A&M. What's up with this field goal kicker? Was he good most of the year?
Yes, remember he was a guy that his stats sucked coming into the year, but then magically was really good all year long. And the wind was insane. The wind was like the first kick, he kicked it straight on, and then out of nowhere it was like a golf ball. Is
that my ball going to the left?
That got in his head to the point where after that, even if there wasn't a wind, he was off. Yeah, I mean he wasn't good, but it was. I mean the weather conditions were weird, so I don't really blame him so much. For the
you don't see the wind on TV. I mean, once in a while they'll show you the flags.
Nah, yeah, that was the flags were crazy, and you can see. Well, you just see what the ball was doing. The ball was doing weird stuff.
Yeah. Now did that make it impossible to score? Or was that why it was like nothing?
No.
And by the way, I literally I wrote, and this guy you would think would be all over this. You would have to remind yourself if you're doing a radio broadcast of a game to give the score as frequently as possible. In a 0-0 tie.
They never do. Yeah.
I literally wrote 20 minutes and didn't know the score. I had left the house and it was nothing. And I'm hearing all of this description of what's going on, but I had made a stop or two. And I had no idea. I mean, by the time I got to my destination there, which was like 20 minutes away, still never heard the score. So you have to remind yourself to do that. Every other number, what was out there, passing stats, rushing stats, this, that, graduation dates, NIL money, every number was out there except the score. The one thing that you wanted to know. And I don't mean to be negative, but I did happen to catch an early portion of the Dolphins radio broadcast, Libby.
Oh no.
Wow. Wow. And no disrespect to my good friend Joe Rose. He's sort of like an interpreter in the broadcast where you have no idea what happened on a plane and he comes in.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard one in a long time. It makes me sad, to be brutally honest.
There's like a weird modulation on that play-by-play voice for some reason. I don't know if that's just the way it's coming out, but the mic's quality is like kind of weird. You sort of had that like internet garble type of
Oh,
effect
that's
in there.
that's weird.
It
Yeah,
was a rough listen, I would have to say, and I probably at this stage of my life shouldn't be. I'm not being critical. It's just you had no idea what was going on in the game. Just absolutely no idea. It was crazy. All right, so there were some meaningful games. New England, are they for real? Pittsburgh knocks out Detroit. Detroit, are they finished? El Kaputski, I believe
I
so.
don't know, but Ken and I are looking more and more right. The Bears with Ben Johnson are not only
Oh, and what a miracle game that
better,
was Saturday.
but Williams is coming on, and they're finding ways to win the way that good teams do. And the Lions are finding ways to lose games the way average teams do. And they're just hovering over 500 after losing their coordinators and Dan Campbell being the guy. This is the worst they've been in 3 or 4 years with him having to be the guy.
Maybe that cycle of injuries just caught up with them.
But they're always injured. That was their problem last. Then they need to get a new strength coach. Like they every year. It's if they only were injured, that's 3 years in a row now. Like 2 years ago, that was a problem.
I don't know that a strength coach can kind of mediate that out of the game.
I don't know, but 2
For
years
hamstrings and things like that, maybe the guy can help you. But
I
the
don't know.
way guys are getting crushed, Lubie.
I know. So you can't use injury as an excuse for 3
Did you
straight.
see the picture of Jake Paul's jaw?
I know he got
After he got hit by like a quasi shot from Anthony Joshua. I mean, look, it was dead aim. This was batting practice with a guy that was sort of like trying to be a knuckleball in the ring because he didn't do anything. He was like diving at Joshua's feet the entire time.
He's not a boxer. I guess just whatever arrangement he had with Tyson, Joshua finally was like, yeah, I'm done with this.
A media genius, though. You would have to give him that. You have to give this guy credit.
Oh, yeah, no, he knew how to.
The goal was to learn how. I mean, this guy should be teaching the course and how to monetize the internet. My
He
God.
got people to get into his fighting career when he has no idea how to fight.
And whether it was $100 million that they split or $200 million, it's a lot of money for what essentially was kind of a comic joke from the beginning. There's just no way. I'd be like, would have been the equivalent of me or you getting in there with Sonny Liston in his prime. It's like, what? You're going to fight the bear? You got to be out of your mind. I wouldn't have wanted to run into him. He didn't live that long, but I mean, even in his old age, I would imagine one right hand would have crushed your skull. Should they sanction things like that, Lubie? The State Athletic Commission here in Florida, are they easy peasy when it comes to a little bit of? I don't mean to imply that there's anything
A man and animal.
ridiculous going on, but how can you license a mismatch like that?
I don't know. People paid for it. My brother-in-law and my sister talked about it, and they're not into sports at all. It's like I didn't watch a second of it. I was scrolling through things, and people were like, "Oh, he got pasted," and then it's video of Joshua just annihilating him. I'm like, "Oh, thank goodness they didn't have the same deal that he had with Tyson." And Joshua was like, "Yeah, I'm done." He just annihilated him.
People were amazed that it went 6 rounds, but the guy ran for like 4 rounds plus, finally got hammered. Joshua hadn't fought in over a year, but this was a legitimate. I mean, he may be washed up as a heavyweight, but look what it did for him. It catapulted him into the spotlight. The world knows about this guy now. Anybody who wasn't a boxing fan and thought that Anthony Joshua was essentially El Finito, now thinks that this guy is the greatest heavyweight champion of all time because he knocked out Jake Paul. It's incredible. A guy who could have been flipping burgers just as easily as he was doing these flips in the ring there, diving at the feet. He could have been credited with a couple of sacks. In the fight. He never did pull him down, though. Joshua is the only beast of a human being in terms of physicality. All due respect. I mean, I don't know. Do you give him credit for having guts to get in there, or just the marketing wizardry of having this be one of the biggest events that has taken place in boxing history, even though it was a complete circus?
I give him credit for somehow making his lack of talent in boxing something that everyone wants to watch.
Yeah,
on center stage. I mean, that's impressive.
Be like me ice skating, figure skating.
Yeah, like usually someone who's horrendous at something, you don't run out of your way to watch it, but people watch this thing.
I can't even stand up on skates, Louie. I don't even think if I put a pair of skates on, I would fall over. You're probably a good.
I'm horrendous at ice skating, but I mean, I wouldn't fall over. I would just be really uncoordinated and bad.
You have to hang on to the railing or hope that some good-looking chick grabbed me before I hit the ice and guided me around. All right, we're coming back with more. We'll get more into these college games. The Jake Paul fight that it drew the amount of attention here. I'm talking about it. The shot. I mean, you could not have just had more dead aim on a guy's chin than Joshua did. That would look like a shot that you would see if you were watching a fight on Ray Donovan. It was unbelievable.
Oh no, it was rough.
Breaks his jaw. Supposedly, that's it. He's not going to pull this off. So he made his money, though. Wow, unbelievable. On Jake Paul for something that, I mean, no matter what logic you were following, the only thing that could have made Jake Paul even a likely possibility of a winner was they completely scripted the job like he seemed to have with the. I mean, look at these guys he was fighting. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He may as well have fought Senior. He probably would have got a better fight. And we were waiting for him, to get in there with Bernie Sanders. That next, Sanders, Jake Paul. No, I don't think so. Bernie wouldn't take the fight.
Maybe. I have no idea.
All right, we got the Cotton Bowl lines up. Ohio State 9.5 over the University of Miami. We'll get into that. Indiana is laying 6.5 to Alabama. Oregon favored over Texas Tech by a point and a hook in the Orange Bowl. That'll be
that one's tough.
Yeah,
that one I don't know what to do.
Georgia laying 7.5 to Ole Miss.
Yeah, I think they'll beat the crap out of Ole Miss.
So we'll try and figure that out as well. Back with more in a moment. Jeff Morris, that's Mike Lubie. Lubitz back with more in a moment. Now that. Time. 8:42.
Joe Bees. The bees collect the pollen, bring it to Joe, he packages it, and he gets it to you. It's simple, 100% natural, and it's good for you.
There's only one place to get Joe Bees, and that's from me. Joe B.
If you want to look and feel good, call 877-300-5632.
Hey folks, Tony Segreto here. Let me ask you a question. What do you look for when you go out to eat? Good food, obviously, friendly atmosphere, not too loud, but good energy, reasonable prices, and a place where you feel comfortable. All those ingredients, no pun meant there, are hard to find unless you're talking about the Texas Roadhouse. You see, they encompass all of those attributes. Really, really good food, amazing atmosphere, good for a family, good for a date, or just a night out for yourself, and prices that will make you extremely happy. Their ribs unmatched, steaks hand-cut every day. Everything, and I mean everything, is made on site, including their incredible bread. It's the one day, folks, that you can forget about low-carb diets. Trust me when I tell you, Texas Roadhouse, your restaurant, your destination when you say, where should we go and eat tonight?
From the newly renovated sports bar to the beautiful bayside views captured at the Tiki Bar, Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill has it all. Located at mile marker 104, the Big Chill also offers waterfront dining while experiencing breathtaking sunset views of the Florida Keys. It's simply the hottest spot in the Keys to cool off. That's Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill at mile marker 104 in Key Largo. For more information, call today at 305-453-9066.
The world, I mean, if my point was ever going to be embellished and going to be proven true, the world has gotten me sugar now.
Grab a bagel and a schmear, plus some Defo and Lubie. Welcome back to the Defo Show.
All right, welcome back to the show. That Chicago game on Saturday, the Bears game where they pulled it out of their ass against the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
16-6, 4 minutes to go. I am laying 1 point with the Packers, I think. Laying a point with the Packers in my personal betting enterprise with my buddy Francesco. He's been winning of late, so I'm getting a little bit stressed, Louis. I don't want to have to pay this guy again. A long time since I've had to shell out money. Usually I just tell him, hey, sell it to me, brother. And
You don't even at the end of there, you just assume.
I always offer him double or nothing on the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's nice.
He doesn't always do that, but he has done that on occasion, and it's backfired on him, not me. So I feel pretty comfortable. You always want to be the book, especially if you're looking at games like that are decided by, I mean, just incredible fluke circumstance. And I will never forget, and this predated the internet and being able to get the scores on your phone. I mean, if you were getting your scores on your phone, it was Score Phone that you were paying like $9 a month for, so you could look up on your beeper who won games as they were happening. That this was an early innovation. Can you imagine, Lubie? People were always checking their beeper, and I'm going, "What the hell are you doing?" The guy's like, "Oh yeah, the Knicks. Look at that, they're up 3," because that was the only way to get that stuff. So most people went to bed when the Dolphins lost to the Jets. In that Miracle at the Meadowlands game, thinking that the Dolphins had the game in the bag. It mathematically almost seemed impossible.
It should have been impossible if not for Dave Wanstead. It should have been.
He pulled a Mario and somehow lost the game in the final seconds. And so I remember coming to work, and this was like 6 a.m. Joe Rose is there with Steve Goldie Goldstein, and they don't believe me that the Dolphins lost. It's like, they're like, "Wait, what are you talking about, Defo?" And when we finally, I was able to confirm it to them, they were absolutely astonished that somehow that game had gone the other way. It did seem impossible. They were cruising with Jay Fiedler, having a magical day as a Miami Dolphin quarterback. Then it all went south. But still, I mean, there were just so many obstacles to overcome, not the least of which was the clock, which was ticking away, Lubie. And there was no chance that you had enough time to get enough points to get back into that ballgame, but they did. And that was Chicago. I'm laying a point with Green Bay. It's 16-6. I'm thinking this thing's in the bag. I mean, even if they get a touchdown, there's going to be about a minute and change left in the ballgame. All the Packers have to do is not give up the onside kick. And what do? They get a field goal, like Chicago, to make it at that point, 16-9?
Yes.
And then
they got an onside, which doesn't happen.
Onside, which the guy drops. I mean, he gets a two-hopper to short. It wasn't exactly like Mark Belanger was there with the glove. And the guy drops it, unfortunately. Now, look, these things are tricky. The ball bounces. Talk about bouncing funny. Football, there's no guarantee. I mean, you have any idea what it's going to do next. May as well have a gyroscope in it. So the guy fumbles it. It's recovered by the Bears. And then they complete like a 4th and 2 for a touchdown with no time left.
Yes.
Now you're in overtime, and you still lose.
Yes.
That was a tough beat. I went to sleep assured that I had won that ball game. I couldn't believe it when I saw. I woke up at like 2 a.m. I pop up on their Sports Center and they're showing Chicago celebrating. I'm thinking, what are they celebrating? These losers.
Yeah, that's all I saw was the end. I saw them score, almost score, then have to set over the field goal, get the onside, get the touchdown to get to overtime, and then get the touchdown to win. And it was like, what the hell? What the hell just happened?
Well, it's always good to be in a book. Now, in this case, the guy pulled a miracle out of his ass, but that happens.
No.
When you're getting stuff like that going your way, and in general, it's always good. And now, in this case, the juice would have done in Francesco, because with the number of games we've bet, if he was betting 110 to win 100 on the slightly over 50% wins that he's having, he still would be buried. Lubie, think about that. Still, he's picking, and he would still be just absolutely swimming in a sea of red ink. That's why it's always good to beat a book, Libby, because if you win, you win, and if you lose, right out of Raging Bull, you still win. All right, so where does this leave us? Talking about these college football games.
We didn't even talk about it at all. I appreciate that you gave me 50 minutes to not even have to deal with whatever happened Saturday.
Well, I mean, it was weird because most people were right. They had Alabama. Now, it didn't look good. Most people were on the side that I talked to, and we were giving out Alabama on the various handicapping shows that we have, and thinking that Alabama was gonna do it. That Oklahoma, the professor was down on Oklahoma all year. That kind of convinced me that it was worth having that opinion. And so it looked like, as horrible as it was, these are the kind of things that happen in sports. Their game against Georgia, I think they bounced back, and it looked like they were going to get run over, and they come back and win that game.
Yes.
People are giving them a shot against Indiana, although the odds makers are posting 6 and a hook.
It's weird. I don't know what happened because they got down 17-0. So a second time they're playing Oklahoma, and they start very slow.
Yeah.
And then it was like they realized, oh, wait, if we just don't do dumb things, we can roll this team. And they just switched, and they rolled them. And Oklahoma, I guess, got one late touchdown to make it interesting, but then Bama came right back. That's the thing, is I don't think either of those teams should have been in the playoffs. And I really can see Alabama winning 2 rounds. I think Indiana, they didn't play any. They beat Oregon, but that was really the only team they played all year. And I know they had a dogfight against Ohio State in the Big Ten championship, and they did win. And that should matter because Ohio State, to me, is still not arguably, is still by far the best team in the country. But I think Ryan Day did what he did last year. I think they sort of took that. I feel bad saying they took it lightly, but they knew they were in the playoffs, and they knew they were set, and they knew they just steamrolled an entire playoffs last year. So, yes, I know that's why Ken's questioning Ohio State, because Ryan Day can pull a Ryan Day, but we've also seen him flip the switch back and stay the hell out of the way and let his team go on a run. And I think that's what you're going to see with Ohio State. So I still don't give Indiana much credit for that game, because I don't think they saw I think they put everything into that game. And I think Ohio State was like, like if you watch the way Ohio State played that game, that's how it felt. It felt like they were not playing at all to what they're going to do in the playoffs. And it almost was like the stuff we hate when they say in the preseason. Yeah. But it was almost like they were like, we don't want to show anything. Like, we don't care about it.
Very lackluster, that effort.
We're going to be a top 4 seed no matter what. Like, they literally lost that game and still were a bye team. So what did they gain by doing anything fun in that game? I think it's stupid, but I don't put much in that game from Ohio State's perspective, and I don't put much for Indiana. Like, Indiana still is like, they're an upstart, fun team with a really good coach. Okay, Alabama has way more talent, like way more talent, and I think they may have a better coach. So
you're leaning Bama.
I don't think Bama, and it sucks because I don't think they should be in the playoffs, honestly. I don't think they earned it.
Gave a good account of themselves in the opener.
They're more talented than Indiana, and I think they'll probably win that freaking game, and then the SEC is going to crow, and it's like, Indiana's just a fun story. But like Ken talks about, and he's right.
I can see them losing.
Cignetti's been really smart in how he does their schedule. They play no one. They miss usually Michigan and Ohio State every year. And then they play one of their side that is sort of tough, but even if they lose that game, they're still getting the playoffs, and they play no one out of conference. So, like,
it took a lot for Ohio State to lose that game to Indiana also.
And they played like ass. They played the worst game of the year. They didn't play their game plan at all.
And they scored any number of times, right? There was another example yesterday with Buffalo and McDermott where you thought the coach certainly was going to go for a field goal on a 4th down. They're up 23-20 over the Browns. Would you not want to force the Browns into a situation where they need to get a touchdown? They need to go the length of the field to beat you, as opposed to missing on a 4th down play where they threw the ball into the end zone and gave the Browns a chance at 23-20 to only need a field goal to tie the game and send it to overtime. What kind of stupid-ass decision was that, Lubie?
I don't know. Why? Because I guess you can end the game here.
Okay, but you nearly ended it for yourself. I mean,
I just kicked the goal up a touchdown.
Field goal, you're up 6. You keep them out of the end zone. There was a little time left. You're going against Shedeur Sanders.
He's been dreadful. He almost had a guy. They were showing this replay of him throwing a pass to his running back when there's 3 guys running right at him.
Yeah, he's taking like 20-yard sacks.
Like, he's not good. Like, what he's just with.
It's like they finally caught up to Fran Tarkenton or something. 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage, the guy's getting sacked. It was pretty amazing. All right, I'm sort of with you, Lubie. I could see that being the case where Alabama's in there with a good shot against Indiana. The 6.5 would look attractive to me, and if they got blown out, then we have to maybe reshape our thinking on Indiana. Ohio State and UM. I was sitting with a guy yesterday, the same guy that was thinking I was rooting against him, even though all I needed was to cover 10 and a hook. He could go ahead and have his win. And of course, he had parlayed that game to 2 other games, which he subsequently lost. So it didn't make any difference anyway. The guy screaming at me, "What are you rooting against me for?" And then he's from Ohio, and he asked me who has the better coach, Cristobal or Ryan Day. And I said, well, Cristobal is probably among the worst game day coaches I've ever seen. And before I had a chance to say that Ryan Day is not far behind in that regard in terms of bizarre, inexplicable strategies in games that you would think that he would be using far more imagination than conservatism.
Yep.
And this guy pops in and says, well, Ryan Day's the greatest coach there is in college football.
No, that's dumb.
Now, do you argue with a guy at that point, or you just like take another bite of your sandwich? What do you do?
I don't know. I've gotten to a place where, like, when I have a diametrically opposed opinion to someone else, I tend to just keep it to myself because I'm not going to change them. They're not going to change me. I mean,
so far out there, you can't bring them back, right?
Look, I watched the same game as fans. We have a very, very different opinion of that game. I have decided to IndyCar Ruben. I said something because I know he's a good dude, and he actually doesn't fight me one on one.
And Andy knows the guy I'm talking about because he met him, and he says he looks like he could be a pretty rough dude. Not to mess with him.
So I'm letting them have their moment, and I'm like, okay, I'm biased. They're biased. We're not going to see it the same way. So. Okay, like I've learned.
That's it.
I've learned to just keep when it's like that. I mean, Ryan Day is a horrendous coach. He's a really good recruiter. He's been really good at winning games, but he also has lost some games that they should not have lost.
His coaching had to be a large contributing factor in that loss to Indiana.
Yeah, they shouldn't have lost that game.
If you were going to say the coach is like the 12th player or whatever, I mean, he's pulling the strings.
They shouldn't have lost that game.
Those play calls that he had. No, he didn't miss the field goal at the end that would have put him into a tie. He didn't go for a field goal when he went for a 4th down and called an horrendous play.
Yep.
It's easy to say that when the play doesn't work. I understand that. So it's not like post race handicapping. I told you the 2 couldn't lose. It's always a pathetic position. Yeah. Well, then how much you got on it there, big mouth? Nothing. But he, I mean, it seemed like he was calling plays like you were talking about where, you're throwing a pitch to the outside, on a 4th down and inches. And you're thinking, who the hell would come up with something this stupid? I don't know. I mean, are they 9.5 points better than the Canes? Canes defensive front was good. I mean, Texas A&M scores points. Now, maybe the conditions were so abhorrent that no offense was going to prosper under the circumstances. You were saying that this guy Reed had open guys all day long.
He was dreadful. And Cane fans have a different opinion, and they're allowed to. I've asked all of them, watch the game again. Watch the game again. Like, he didn't get touched. The first half, he didn't get touched. He wasn't pressured. He wasn't rushed. He had all day, and his guys were running wide open. And it was like Tannehill was out there. Like, he literally was sailing the ball, and it was like, oh my God, he was missing guys on a screen that were wide open, and it was like, holy crap. And they had so many, they were moving the ball at will the first 2.5 quarters. I mean, every drive they would get around the 40, and then it was a combination between the quarterback sucking and the play calling being an abomination that it worked in UM's favor. I mean, UM found a way to not have any points, hold them to no points. And then UM's offense could do nothing. Like, outside, they would get on the first time, they get a nice run that later in the second half, it got them some points, but they'd get a nice run by Fletcher on first down and then would do nothing the next 5 downs and then would punt. Their offense was doing nothing. A&M was moving the ball every drive, but Reed would miss, like, on a nice 2nd or 3rd down, a guy running wide open that if he connected would be an easy touchdown. And then they would get inside the 30. The field would be shrunk. UM would be more aggressive, and their play calling was just an abomination. So I feel like they left like 3 to 4 touchdowns off the board in the first half. And then in the second half, when you realize, oh God, this guy can't throw to save his life, UM started bringing pressure, and it made it tougher. And he still had guys open that he was missing. Like the thing with Reed, and it's what Ken and I talked about the last month, is he would be helter-skelter. He'd be really bad, but then at least in the same game be really good. This game, he never settled in. Like he never, and people were saying, well, that's their defense. Watch the first half. I'm telling you, Ruben Bain didn't breathe on him in the first half. Like, yes, Bain ended up with 3 sacks. And this guy had, in the second half, once they realized he couldn't hit the side of a freaking barn, they just said, screw it. And they brought everyone. Like, and again, UM's offense never did anything. Like they got 10 points, guys. Like 10 points in a playoff game, you should lose by 30. Like it's not like UM came away looking great. That game to me was 2 teams that were, I guess, evenly matched. That I think Ohio State would house either of them. Like I haven't bet all year. Like if the spread was under 9, I think Ohio State will beat the crap out of them. Like the stuff that Miami got away with versus A&M, you're not gonna like. The middle of the field is wide open. Like Jeremiah Smith and Tate live in the middle of the field.
You were able to see this. You think Ryan Day is going to watch?
I don't know. That's what people like. Ken said it before the game happened. And it's not like UM blew away A&M. It was literally A&M played like garbage and still got to the 4-yard line. And if they just run the ball twice, they tie the game. They don't run it once. They have their quarterback who couldn't hit the side of barn all day, throwing 3 plays in a row. It's like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? So anyways, like they played like garbage and they were able to be within a score.
Mike Elko out-coached by
it wasn't an out-coach situation. It's what Ken's talking
about. That's dumb, though. I mean, throwing the ball 3 times and eventually getting picked off.
Well, look, they had 40 seconds and no timeout. So you're thinking the clock will run.
Can't really run the ball.
It takes you 5 seconds to get up and get back to the line when you're running it near the line. Like to me, you run it at least once. Whatever.
That'd be like you were reloading a tape, fast forwarding it, and then running it backwards at high speed, where you had to peel yourself off the mat, literally, like we do every Monday, and get back in. I don't know, prohibitive to run the ball.
I just have the problem with Ohio
Maybe
State.
Once you could have got away with it.
Problem with Ohio State is will Ryan Day play the game that they look the best at? Will Ryan Day try and prove? Because that's Miami's thing, right? He's being physical and running the ball and. I mean, that's literally what they did. I don't know if Carson Beck had 200 yards passing, but like, so if you're Ryan Day, you would think, okay, let's just blow the doors off the game. But until last year's playoffs, he never did that. In big games with physical teams, he would try and out-physical them, which I think is stupid. But Miami's secondary is not good.
Keep running the ball up the middle, Ryan. That's what we want.
And their pass rush is like, by the end of the game, their pass rush was coming. It wasn't the first half. Like, if Reed hits on any of those throws, Miami's down 21 because their offense could do nothing.
Yeah, no, they were bad.
Even by the end of the game, their offense could do nothing. Like, Beck wasn't hitting on throws. Like, to me, if Ohio State plays their game, it shouldn't even be close. But it is a question because you never know with Ryan Day. Like, at least UM's going to do what UM does. I'll give them credit. They play their game. Ohio State, you never know what you're going to get in these moments from them. I just think they're going to bring their game because we saw them do it last year. And if they do, Sain's not missing wide open guys over the middle. He's not. Their defense is not just allowing a guy to run up the gut for 50 yards when it's a tight game. Like Ohio State's defense is freaking insane. And A&M has a good defense. Ohio State's defense is better. So I don't know. I think either of those teams would have gotten worked by a real Ohio State team. It's not even a bias. Like if A&M got there, or I think Ohio State threw away the Big Ten championship for some stupid ass reason. It will refocus them again, like they did Michigan last year. And I don't know if there's anyone outside of maybe Georgia, just because their talent is so insane and they have the best coach in the country. Like, I don't think anyone can hang with Ohio State. Like I've said that before, and like nothing's changed for me.
Got 9 or 10 days to agonize over this, so it's good. All right, Lubie, good stuff. Luca was a little restless today. Hope he's okay.
Better now. He was annoying.
And what was he doing? Chowing down? What's he want? A steak?
He just was.
What's one of those Texas Roadhouse?
Nothing would settle him in the first 40 minutes. The last 20 minutes, thank God, he's.
Will you will him any of those Texas Roadhouse gift certificates? So is there an expiration date on there?
I don't have any, so if I get some, maybe.
All right, very good. So a sad day for the Dolphins. The Hurricanes survived. A lot of people were happy about that. Gives us
another one. And look, it was a slugfest. And that's what they usually lose. And the other quarterback made the mistake, and their quarterback did just enough, and their players did just enough. And that's a team that Mario has said he was going to have, a hard physical team. and they got a playoff game. So I have to lay off of him because I didn't think they'd get to a playoff, let alone win a playoff game. So I will lay off of Mario because he did what I didn't think he could do. I just think they're running up against the team that can go totally against all the things they do well and just take total advantage of the things that they are not great at.
You're in the final 8. The switch was flipped. You know how sometimes you're at the well. I mean, this wouldn't necessarily relate to you, but you've seen guys go through this where they're going to bet a long shot. The Greek was especially known for this, and you're trying to decide between 2 30-1 shots, and you pick one, and then it turns out that the other one wins, even though you put your $50 or whatever on the nose, trying to get even for what otherwise was a miserable day. And you're like, yeah, I knew it, but you end up on the wrong side, and that's kind of what happened in the 2 long shot games, where most people thought that Tulane would be competitive with Ole Miss. That game was getting trashed, and naturally, the cynics were out there screaming, "See, I told you they didn't belong." That's all I saw on whatever threads I was on, and then of course James Madison covers somehow miraculously, even though they were getting throttled by Oregon. They end up within 17, getting 20, or I think it was 20 and a hook when it finally went off at post time, where most people thought, okay, you could name your score. So what did it end up 17? Was it 51-34, something like that?
I know it got to that. I think Oregon,
so many points. Maybe I misread the score.
No, I think you nailed it. I think Oregon sort of mailed it in. I mean, they got up by a lot, and then
that was a game that you thought you could just print whatever money you wanted if you went ahead and laid the 3 touchdowns. So I think
the problem when some of these spreads get out of hand because it's not one and done. It's a whole playoff. So like once you get up by 30, like you're going to play a better team next. Yeah. So it behooves you to just let your guys rest,
sure,
or to at least not be as risky. And then they made it a 17-point game, so they covered the 21 that I'm seeing here. But
unbelievable,
it was never a game. Like it was literally like it was free throw bull crap. Like
what was it, like 40-3, something like that?
Yeah, like
but ended up getting a cover with the team that nobody thought had even the slightest semblance of a chance to cover the spread. And then they were getting less than 3 touchdowns in the end because some late money came in. You think somebody knew something, Lubie, about that game? You couldn't have been happy watching it. You would have thought you were a loser all the way through. And then much like the Chicago Bears game, Jesus.
Yes.
Okay. If you could lose that game, having Green Bay, then that's one of those things where you really should make a vow never to gamble again. Never gambling again. That's it. I can't help it. I mean, I got to ride out the season with this personal bookmaking venture. But after that, I'm going to start going to temple every week. Shake this addiction. It does make these games far more interesting, having even the slightest bit of action on them. All right, we have to get out of here. Thanks so much. Appreciate the participation on the chat line. A lot of people weighing in here and all with really good points. So we always get stimulated by that. Thanks so much for doing that. For Mike Lubie Lubitz and young Luca Lubitz, I'm Jeff DeForest. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll do it again tomorrow. And we will feature a little old school Tony Segreto, Ed Garcia, of course. We didn't get a chance to talk to Ed after that. Is he laying low after the Sharon Moore story?
I don't think so. He's in for tomorrow, so he'll have to face the music. I mean, what are we going to say? I'm not going to say anything.
Look, I mean, the guy, he screwed up. What are you going to do?
I think the whole thing's crazy. I mean, the fact that he did what he did, and then instead of just going off into the sunset.
Is it a permanent disgrace on the part of the university? I don't.
Oh, it's Michigan's fault. He had issues. I mean, to go off the deep end and then go harass the woman and then get to the point where you get arrested. Like, I don't think it's Michigan's fault.
No, I wouldn't blame them unless, of course, they were looking the other way while all of this was transpiring, which was the assertion of one John U. Bacon. So we still might want to talk to him about that thing. Yeah, I mean, oh no, he doesn't return your calls anymore.
I'm open to. I think
he switched numbers or something because he loved you.
But I'll keep reaching out to him. Maybe we can get him in the new year.
Okay. All right, kiddo. Thanks so much. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow, and then we're going to take a few days off. So,
sir,
enjoy the rest of the day as people really start to wind things down. This is where
this is holiday. Yes,
the flowers are at the office. Exchange of gifts. You're thinking, did I buy enough $10 wine bottles to give to the custodian and everybody else, and still take care of the bosses? All right, we'll see you next time as we leave you now that.
The time.
It's 9:09.
Let's go to eat a damn snack. Look what they done to my show.